Hi, my name is Jan Rohorik. I'm an Applications Engineer Manager here at Service Objects. We've done a few of these videos where we use LLMs, or in this case, ChatGPT, to generate sample code in Python to validate addresses or a lead against our APIs. Now, what we've done in the past is it's generated code, it looked great, it ran, we validated a record, you can see it come in on the command prompt, and you get the result. In this case, we want to do something a little bit more interesting. We want to take a list of addresses from a CSV file and process them through the API, all code generated by ChatGPT. So in this case, we're going to be looking for the code to be able to open up a CSV file, identify the columns that we need for address validation through US to be able to call the API and do an address validation on each individual record, and then wrap up and close the file. Before we get started, let's take a look at some of the other things that Service Objects offers very briefly, as we've done in our previous videos. At Service Objects, we validate various global data points for their validity. We validate addresses, leads, geolocations, phones, names, emails, and many more. To get started, you're going to need a few things. As always, you're going to need access to an LLM. In this case, you'll need access to ChatGPT. You also want a license key for our API. If you have a live one or a trial one, that's great. That'll work. If you don't have anything, you can go to our website and request a trial key for address validation US3. And VS Code. In my case, I'm using VS Code, but you can use any other Python editor that you'll be able to run code from to do this work. So, as always, everything starts with the prompt. And in this case, we are using this one here. We're going to generate a Python method that will allow me to validate US addresses from a CSV file against the Service Objects Validation 3 API using the GetBestMatches operation. And again, we'll always want to return all the outputs and display them to the console. Okay, so ChatGPT has done its thing in the background here, and here's the result that we have. Here we have a link to download the file. I'll just click that now. How to use the file here, a couple of command line instructions, and a couple of notes about the code itself. After downloading it, I'm going to move over to VS Code, and we can take a look at the code and see if there's anything else we need to do. I imagine there's going to be very minimal tweaking needed to make this work. Okay, so we have the code here opened up in VS Code, and we're going to take a look through here to see what's happened and what ChatGPT has decided will work for our example here. One of the first things you want to take a look at are the endpoints to the API. This is one thing that I've noticed ChatGPT and other LLMs like to mess up. Sometimes they just fully hallucinate this and make up random things. So looking at this, I can quickly identify that these are the correct endpoints to the service. From there, we've got the required columns and the supported columns. This looks pretty good here as well. We've got the minimum requirements to call the service, and then the other values needed to do the validation. And it looks like it pulled this out from some of our support documentation. It does some header normalization. It builds the URL, calls the endpoint here. It takes every row from the CSV file, changes them into parameters. That looks like it's working properly here. Validate the CSV, and then we've got our main function. So what I'm noticing here is that we don't have a field like in some of the other examples where we have to put in our license key. It looks like from the command prompt, and I think we noticed that earlier in the notes that came with the results here, that the command line takes in the license key along with a file name for you to process. So we're going to set those things up and give it a shot. So we can see here that the command line instruction that ChatGPT gave us has a couple of parameters to look at. First, we see the name of the file that's going to be called. That's the one that it generated for us, simple. Then we see the CSV operator here. This one is to a file called addresses.csv. You can change your file name to whatever you have. I happen to just make a test file with the same name just to keep it simple. And then there's license key. So I generated this license key here for this example. It doesn't have very many transactions available on it, but we'll give this a shot. And this one's going to hit the trial endpoint. As we saw earlier in the ChatGPT notes, if you add the command at the end of the list here that says is live, you can then hit the live endpoint. So in that case, you'd need to use your live license key. Let's take a quick look at the CSV file I created so you can have some sort of idea for what I've done. I've opened the addresses file up in Excel so we can see what the CSV file actually contains. Here we have a bunch of random addresses that we test with here and there. Some are going to cause errors, some are going to highlight different features from the service and different ways the inputs can be used. So you see a lot of variation and you see some typos and things like that. So this is what I have set up here. You don't always have to have all these fields. The required ones is the address and city, state, or address and postal code, but the more information that you have for your address, the better the service is going to be able to do a validation for you. And just so that you see how everything is set up end to end, I've downloaded the Python code into this one directory, and just to make things simple, I put the addresses CSV file in the same directory. Really simple and easy to find. Now we're ready to run the code. Here we have the command back in the Windows command prompt here, and we'll just hit enter and see if there's any mistakes. All right, you can see that it's going through every record here, giving the response to the validation. So all the outputs are coming back. It's tracking what row it's on. And it looks like it's just outputting the JSON, which in the end, you'll be able to do whatever you want with this. You can parse the JSON, save it to a database, save it to another CSV file, or just leave it on the screen like this. You could do many different things. You can have it bounce back to a web form to give an end user some additional information. Many different things. As we scroll through here, everything looks pretty good. Well, we've got some errors here. And these aren't errors from the service. This is errors from the input and different problems. So like I said, some of the rows in the CSV file have bad addresses altogether that cause errors. And you can see those errors come back here, and you can see which rows that those occurred on. Now everything looks good. Did we get through the whole list? I'm going to bounce to the bottom of the list here. And we successfully validated 30 records. I did notice one thing here. We call this AV2 underscore ChatGPT demo. This is AV3, a little typo there. But there you have it. Now you can take a CSV file full of addresses, run the sample code that ChatGPT generates, and get going. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope this helped you guys out.